Have you ever felt overwhelmed by negative thoughts, dragging you down and clouding your mind? Imagine waking up each day feeling light, free, and filled with positivity. What if you could remove the negativity that holds you back and find peace within yourself? This video will explore how Buddhism teaches us to clear our minds and embrace a more joyful existence. Every day, we encounter challenges and stressors that can lead to negativity. It can feel like a heavy weight on our shoulders, making it hard to see the beauty in life. Have you ever noticed how a simple negative thought can spiral into a day filled with frustration and worry? Picture this. You spill coffee on your shirt before an important meeting, and suddenly, it feels like the entire day is ruined. But what if you could shift your mindset and approach that moment with understanding instead of frustration? Welcome to Wisdom Woven, a channel dedicated to exploring profound insights that can transform your life. In today's video, we'll dive into the essence of removing negativity from our minds through the teachings of Buddhism. By the end, you'll discover powerful techniques to foster a more positive and peaceful mindset. Now, here's something important. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. If you find value in this content and want more life-changing insights, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support makes a difference. As we embark on this journey, let's remember that our minds hold the key to our happiness. By understanding and applying these Buddhist principles, we can remove negativity and invite tranquility into our lives. Stay tuned as we unfold the transformative wisdom that can help you live a more fulfilling life. Understanding the roots of negativity. Negativity often creeps into our minds without us even realizing it. It can stem from various sources, such as past experiences, relationships, or even the society we live in. To truly remove negativity, it is essential to understand where it comes from. By identifying its roots, we can start to address and heal the wounds that negativity leaves behind. One of the primary sources of negativity is attachment. In Buddhism, attachment is seen as a significant cause of suffering. When we become attached to our desires, possessions, or even people, we create expectations. These expectations can lead to disappointment when reality doesn't match our hopes. Think about a time when you were overly attached to something, perhaps a job, a relationship, or even a material possession. When that attachment was threatened or lost, how did it make you feel? The truth is that life is filled with changes. Nothing stays the same forever. And when we hold on too tightly to what we want, we set ourselves up for pain. Instead of fostering happiness, attachment can lead to anxiety and sadness. Understanding this, we can begin to loosen our grip on the things we hold dear and embrace the flow of life. Another root of negativity lies in our thoughts. Our minds have a tendency to dwell on the negative rather than the positive. For instance, if someone criticizes you, you might find yourself replaying that moment in your mind, allowing it to overshadow your day. This habit can become a vicious cycle, where one negative thought leads to another, creating a cloud of darkness over our mental landscape. Buddhism teaches us that our thoughts are not who we are. They are simply passing clouds in the sky of our consciousness. By recognizing this, we can begin to observe our thoughts without judgment. When a negative thought arises, instead of clinging to it, we can let it float away like a leaf on a stream. This practice of mindfulness can help us cultivate a more balanced and positive mindset. Another aspect of negativity comes from the fear of the unknown. Many people worry about what the future holds or dwell on past mistakes, preventing them from living in the present moment. This fear can be paralyzing and can cloud our ability to see the beauty around us. When we focus too much on what might happen, we miss out on the joy of now. To combat this fear, it is essential to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness allows us to anchor ourselves in the present moment, helping us appreciate the here and now. By focusing on our breath, the sensations in our body, or the sounds around us, we can train our minds to let go of worries and anxieties. It's also important to recognize the influence of external factors on our mental state. The media we consume, the people we surround ourselves with, and the environment we live in can all impact our mindset. For example, constantly watching negative news or surrounding ourselves with pessimistic people can feed our negativity. In contrast, seeking out uplifting stories, positive influences, and nurturing relationships can help create a more positive atmosphere. Another aspect of negativity is comparison. In a world dominated by social media, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others. We might see friends enjoying vacations, achieving success, or living seemingly perfect lives, and we may feel inadequate in comparison. This mindset breeds discontent and unhappiness, leading us to overlook our own accomplishments and joys. Buddhism encourages us to practice gratitude. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we can shift our perspective. Take a moment each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for, no matter how small they may seem. This practice can help you cultivate a sense of abundance and appreciation, diminishing feelings of negativity. Ultimately, to remove negativity from our minds, we must embark on a journey of self-discovery and healing. It requires us to face our fears, let go of attachments, and challenge our thoughts. It is not always easy, but with patience and practice, we can cultivate a more positive and peaceful state of mind. As we move forward in this exploration of removing negativity, let us remember that understanding its roots is just the first step. By recognizing where negativity comes from, we can begin to take action to transform our minds and our lives. Together, we can learn to embrace positivity and cultivate a clearer, more peaceful mindset. The journey may be challenging, but every step taken towards understanding and healing is a step towards a brighter, more joyful life. In the following parts, we will explore specific Buddhist practices that can help us remove negativity and foster a sense of tranquility. Let's continue this path together and discover the peace that lies within us. The Buddhist perspective on attachment and desire. In the journey of removing negativity from our minds, understanding the Buddhist perspective on attachment and desire is crucial. Buddhism teaches us that attachment is one of the main sources of suffering. When we cling to things, whether they are relationships, possessions, or even our emotions, we create a bond that can lead to pain and disappointment. Imagine holding onto a balloon tightly. If you grip it too hard, it might pop, causing a mess. This is how attachment works in our lives. The tighter we hold on, the more likely we are to feel the sting of loss. Desire, too, can be a double-edged sword. It can motivate us to achieve great things, but can also lead to dissatisfaction if we constantly crave what we do not have. Think about it. When was the last time you wanted something so badly, only to find that once you got it, it didn't bring you the happiness you expected? This cycle of desire can keep us trapped in a loop of wanting, never fully satisfied with what we have. Buddhism teaches us to observe our desires without judgment. When we recognize our cravings, we can start to understand their root causes. Are we seeking validation from others? Are we trying to fill an emotional void? By asking ourselves these questions, we can learn to detach from our desires. This doesn't mean we can't enjoy things in life. Rather, it encourages us to appreciate what we have without becoming overly attached. Another important aspect of this teaching is the concept of impermanence. Everything in life is temporary, and acknowledging this truth can help us let go of our attachments. Just like the seasons change, so do our feelings and situations. When we understand that nothing lasts forever, we can start to loosen our grip on things that may cause us suffering. To practice this, we can try a simple exercise. Take a moment to sit quietly and close your eyes. Focus on your breath and think of something you are attached to, a person, an object, or even a feeling. Notice how this attachment makes you feel. Now, visualize letting it go, just like releasing a balloon into the sky. See it float away, and allow yourself to feel the lightness that comes with it. This practice helps cultivate a sense of freedom and acceptance. Moreover, letting go of attachment can also improve our relationships. When we stop expecting others to fulfill our needs or make us happy, we allow them to be who they are without pressure. This creates healthier connections based on love and understanding rather than dependency. Buddhism also teaches the practice of non-attachment, which encourages us to engage with life fully while remaining open to change. This means enjoying experiences and relationships without getting lost in them. When we do this, we can appreciate each moment without the fear of losing it. Consider the story of the river and the stone. A stone lies in the river, feeling the rush of water around it. At first, it tries to hold on to the water, but soon it realizes that the water will flow whether it holds on or not. the stone learns to relax and enjoy the coolness of the water without clinging to it. This story teaches us that life will continue to flow, and our happiness can come from learning to go with that flow rather than resisting it. The Buddha encouraged mindfulness as a way to observe our thoughts and desires. Mindfulness helps us become aware of what we are clinging to. When a negative thought arises, instead of pushing it away, we can acknowledge it and explore its roots. What is this thought trying to tell us? Why is it here? By being curious rather than judgmental, we can gain insights into our minds and start to dissolve negativity. Another powerful tool is gratitude. When we focus on what we are grateful for, it shifts our mindset from wanting more to appreciating what we already have. Try keeping a gratitude journal where you write down a few things you are thankful for each day. This simple practice can transform your outlook and help you recognize the abundance in your life. Buddhism teaches that by letting go of our attachments and desires, we open ourselves up to true happiness. It's not about renouncing everything or becoming emotionless. It's about finding balance. We can enjoy life's pleasures while also being aware of their impermanent nature. In conclusion, the Buddhist perspective on attachment and desire invites us to examine our relationship with our thoughts and feelings. By understanding the nature of attachment, we can learn to let go and find a deeper sense of peace within ourselves. As we practice non-attachment, we discover that life is more vibrant and fulfilling when we embrace each moment without clinging to it. This is the path to removing negativity from our minds and cultivating lasting joy and serenity. Mindfulness, the gateway to inner peace. In the fast-paced world we live in, it's easy to get caught up in the chaos of our thoughts and the hustle of daily life. We often forget to take a moment for ourselves. Mindfulness offers a way to slow down, breathe, and find clarity in the midst of our busy lives. So, what exactly is mindfulness? Simply put, it is the practice of being fully present in the moment, aware of our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. Imagine you are sitting outside, enjoying a beautiful day. The sun is shining, and a gentle breeze is blowing. Instead of appreciating this moment, your mind races with worries about work, family, or the chores you need to do. This is a common experience, but practicing mindfulness can help you shift your focus back to the present. When you bring your attention to the here and now, you can truly experience life as it unfolds. Mindfulness is a key teaching in Buddhism, emphasizing the importance of awareness in every aspect of our lives. It teaches us to observe our thoughts and emotions without getting tangled up in them. Instead of reacting automatically to situations, mindfulness encourages us to pause, breathe, and respond with intention. This practice can be incredibly liberating. Consider this simple exercise. Take a moment to close your eyes and focus on your breath. Feel the air entering your nose, filling your lungs, and then gently leaving your body. With each breath, allow yourself to let go of any distractions or worries. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring your focus back to your breathing. This practice can ground you and bring clarity to your thoughts. Practicing mindfulness can significantly impact your mental well-being. Studies show that individuals who engage in mindfulness regularly experience reduced stress and anxiety levels. They often report feeling more connected to themselves and their surroundings. This connection fosters a sense of peace that helps to combat the negativity that can cloud our minds. Incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as taking a few minutes each day to pause and check in with yourself. Whether you're eating a meal, walking in nature, or even washing dishes, you can practice mindfulness. Pay attention to the flavors of your food, the sounds around you, or the feeling of water on your hands. These small moments of awareness can create a ripple effect, transforming your entire day. Mindfulness also encourages us to be kinder to ourselves. Many of us are quick to criticize ourselves for mistakes or perceived flaws. However, mindfulness teaches us to approach these moments with compassion. When a negative thought arises, instead of judging ourselves harshly, we can acknowledge it and let it pass like clouds drifting in the sky. This practice of self-compassion is essential for creating a positive mindset. When we are mindful, we become more aware of our triggers, those situations or thoughts that provoke negative emotions. Understanding these triggers is crucial in breaking the cycle of negativity. For instance, If you notice that certain conversations with friends often lead to feelings of frustration, you can prepare yourself to respond differently next time. Mindfulness helps you recognize these patterns and empowers you to make conscious choices about how you want to feel. Moreover, mindfulness fosters gratitude. When we are fully present, we begin to appreciate the small things in life that we often overlook. The warmth of the sun on our skin, the laughter of a loved one, or the taste of our favorite meal, all become more vivid and meaningful. This gratitude can shift our focus from what we lack to what we have, cultivating a more positive outlook. To enhance your mindfulness practice, consider trying meditation. Meditation is a powerful tool that allows us to deepen our understanding of our minds and emotions. Start with just a few minutes a day, sitting in a quiet space and focusing on your breath. As you become more comfortable, you can extend your practice. There are many guided meditations available that can help you on your journey. Remember, mindfulness is not about achieving perfection or always feeling happy. It's about being aware of your thoughts and feelings, accepting them without judgment, and choosing how you want to respond. It's a lifelong journey that requires patience and practice. As you develop your mindfulness skills, you may find that your capacity for compassion, empathy, and understanding grows. Buddhism teaches us that the mind is like a garden. If we neglect it, weeds of negativity can take root and flourish. But with mindfulness, we can tend to our garden, pulling out those weeds and nurturing the beautiful flowers of positivity and peace. Embracing mindfulness can be a transformative experience, opening the door to inner peace and clarity. By being present and aware, we can navigate life's challenges with grace and understanding. As you continue on this journey, remember that each moment is an opportunity to practice mindfulness, to connect with yourself, and to cultivate a more positive mindset. In conclusion, mindfulness is not just a practice, it is a way of living. By incorporating mindfulness into your daily life, you can begin to see the world differently. You'll notice the beauty in the mundane, the joy in the present moment, and the strength in letting go of negativity. With each mindful breath, you are taking a step towards a clearer, more peaceful mind, detaching from negative thoughts. In our journey toward a more positive mindset, one essential step is learning how to detach from negative thoughts. Our minds are like a busy marketplace, filled with noise and distractions. Some of these distractions can be harmful, creating a heavy burden that weighs us down. But just like a skilled shopper who knows what to buy, we can learn to recognize which thoughts are worth our attention and which are not. Imagine walking through a park on a beautiful day. As you stroll, you notice a few birds chirping, the wind rustling through the leaves, and the sun shining brightly. But then, out of nowhere, a negative thought pops into your mind. Maybe it's about something that went wrong yesterday or a worry about tomorrow. Instead of allowing that thought to take control, try to treat it like a passing cloud in the sky. Acknowledge its presence, but then let it drift away. Buddhism teaches us that thoughts are just thoughts. They do not define who we are. When a negative thought arises, it's easy to get caught up in it, allowing it to shape our emotions and actions. However, we can practice mindfulness to observe these thoughts without judgment. By simply noticing them, we create a space between ourselves and our thoughts, allowing us to respond rather than react. One way to practice this detachment is through meditation. When you sit quietly and focus on your breath, you may find that thoughts come and go like waves in the ocean. Some may crash loudly against the shore, while others gently lap at your feet. Instead of fighting against these waves, learn to ride them. With each breath, imagine inhaling peace and exhaling negativity. This practice helps train your mind to let go of the clutter and find clarity. Another helpful technique is to ask yourself questions when negative thoughts arise. For instance, is this thought true? Or, how does this thought make me feel? By questioning the validity of our negative thoughts, we can gain a clearer perspective. Often, we discover that these thoughts are exaggerated or based on fear rather than reality. This realization can free us from their grip. In everyday life, we can also practice detachment by changing our environment. Surround yourself with positivity, people who uplift you, activities that inspire you, and spaces that bring you peace. When you create an environment that fosters positivity, it becomes easier to detach from negative thoughts. Consider how you react when someone criticizes you. Instead of holding on to that criticism and letting it fester, try to view it as an opportunity for growth. Reflect on whether it holds any truth. If it does, embrace it as a chance to improve. If it doesn't, let it go. This process of evaluation helps us detach from harmful thoughts and encourages a mindset focused on self-improvement. It's also important to recognize that detachment doesn't mean ignoring our feelings. Rather, it means allowing ourselves to feel without being overwhelmed by those feelings. For example, if you feel anxious about a job interview, acknowledge that anxiety. It's natural to feel nervous. Instead of pushing it away, breathe into it. Understand that this feeling is temporary and does not define your abilities. As we navigate our daily lives, we can apply this practice of detachment in various situations. When faced with a challenging task, instead of thinking, "I can't do this," reframe it to, "I will give my best effort." This shift in thinking helps us detach from the limiting belief that we cannot succeed. Gratitude is another powerful tool for detachment. When we focus on what we are grateful for, it shifts our attention away from negativity. Take a moment each day to reflect on 3 things you appreciate. They could be small, like a warm cup of tea or a kind word from a friend. This practice opens our hearts and minds to positive experiences. Moreover, cultivating compassion toward ourselves is crucial. Often, we are our harshest critics. When negative thoughts arise, treat yourself with kindness. Imagine how you would respond to a friend in a similar situation. Would you berate them, or would you offer encouragement and support? By extending that same compassion to ourselves, we create a safe space for healing and growth. Additionally, practicing non-attachment to outcomes can significantly reduce negativity. When we become overly attached to specific results, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Instead of fixating on a desired outcome, focus on the effort you put in. For instance, if you are preparing for an important presentation, concentrate on your preparation rather than obsessing over how the audience will respond. This shift in focus reduces anxiety and allows you to perform at your best. As we deepen our understanding of detaching from negative thoughts, remember that this is a practice, not a one-time fix. Each day presents an opportunity to apply these principles. Some days will be easier than others, and that's perfectly okay. What matters is that you keep trying. In conclusion, detaching from negative thoughts is a vital step toward achieving a clear and peaceful mind. Through mindfulness, questioning, environmental adjustments, gratitude, and compassion, we can learn to let go of negativity and create space for positivity. Embrace this journey and remember that each step you take is a step toward greater inner peace and joy. Compassion as a tool for transformation. Compassion is a beautiful and powerful practice that can change everything in our lives. Imagine walking through a busy street, noticing the people around you. Each person has their own struggles, fears, and joys. By embracing compassion, you not only connect with others, but you also open the door to healing within yourself. In Buddhism, compassion is not just a feeling, it's an action. It's about recognizing the pain of others and wanting to help alleviate that suffering. When we practice compassion, we shift our focus from our own negativity to the needs of others. This shift can have a profound effect on our mindset. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by our problems, we start to see the shared human experience, which can bring a sense of belonging and purpose. Imagine a time when you felt really down and a friend reached out to you. They listened, cared, and offered support. That act of compassion likely lifted your spirits. Now, think about how you can be that source of support for someone else. By being compassionate, we not only uplift others, but we also find joy in the act of giving. When we cultivate compassion, we can let go of negativity in our minds. Negative thoughts often stem from a sense of separation and isolation. Why is this happening to me? Why can't I be happy? These thoughts trap us in a cycle of self-pity. But when we practice compassion, we break free from that cycle. We begin to understand that we are not alone in our suffering. Everyone faces challenges. This realization helps us step outside of ourselves and connect with the world. Compassion also encourages forgiveness. Holding on to grudges or resentment only weighs us down. It keeps negativity alive in our hearts. When we learn to forgive, we release ourselves from that burden. We free our minds and open ourselves up to peace. Buddhism teaches that forgiveness is a gift we give ourselves. By letting go of past hurts, we allow room for happiness and positivity to flourish. In our daily lives, we can practice compassion in simple ways. A smile, a kind word, or a listening ear can mean the world to someone who is struggling. When we take the time to be present with others, we create a ripple effect of kindness. This not only impacts their lives, but also enriches our own. Each act of compassion fills our hearts with warmth and joy. Another powerful aspect of compassion is self-compassion. Often, we are our own worst critics. We judge ourselves harshly for our mistakes and shortcomings. But what if we treated ourselves with the same kindness we show to others? Self-compassion means acknowledging our flaws and difficulties without judgment. It means saying to ourselves, "It's okay to struggle. I'm doing my best." When we practice self-compassion, we create a safe space within ourselves, allowing healing and growth to occur. Compassion can also transform our relationships. When we approach others with kindness, we build trust and understanding. This can lead to deeper connections, which are essential for our emotional well-being. Think about a time when you felt deeply connected to someone. That bond was likely strengthened by acts of compassion. When we are compassionate, we invite more love and positivity into our lives. Buddhism offers many practices to cultivate compassion. One of these is the metta-bhavana, or loving-kindness meditation. This meditation encourages us to send love and goodwill to ourselves and others. It starts by focusing on our own well-being and then gradually extending that love to friends, acquaintances, and even those we may find difficult. By practicing this meditation regularly, we can foster a compassionate mindset that radiates into our daily interactions. As we learn to be more compassionate, we become more aware of our thoughts and actions. We start to notice when negativity creeps in. Instead of reacting with frustration or anger, we can choose to respond with compassion. This doesn't mean we ignore our feelings. It means we acknowledge them and then consciously choose to act with kindness. When faced with challenges, ask yourself, how can I respond with compassion? This question can guide your actions and help transform difficult situations into opportunities for growth. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of reacting with anger, try thinking, maybe they are having a tough day. This simple shift can diffuse your own negative feelings and promote a more peaceful mindset. Compassion also allows us to see the bigger picture. It helps us understand that life is a shared journey. When we face our own struggles, we can remember that others are navigating their own paths too. This shared experience can foster empathy, making us more understanding and accepting of one another. As we cultivate compassion, we will find that negativity loses its grip on us. We become less attached to our own troubles and more focused on the well-being of ourselves and others. This shift brings a sense of freedom. Instead of feeling weighed down by negativity, we rise above it. We embrace life with an open heart and a positive mindset. In conclusion, compassion is a powerful tool for transforming negativity into positivity. By practicing compassion towards ourselves and others, we can create a more harmonious and joyful life. Let us take small steps each day to cultivate compassion and watch as it transforms our hearts and minds. With each act of kindness, we not only uplift others, but also free ourselves from the chains of negativity. The journey towards a clearer, more positive mind begins with compassion, both for ourselves and for the world around us. Embracing impermanence to let go of negativity. Welcome, my friend. Today, we'll talk about impermanence, the natural flow of life that Buddhism teaches us to see as one of our greatest guides to inner peace. Impermanence is all around us, in the changing seasons, the passing days, the people who come and go from our lives. But instead of accepting this flow, we often resist it. This resistance is the root of much of our suffering and negativity. Think about it. How many times have you wished for something to stay the same? Maybe it's a relationship you fear losing, a job you want to keep forever, or even a special moment you never want to end. It's only natural to want to hold on to what feels good or familiar, but life does not work that way. When we cling to things or refuse to accept change, we create a fertile ground for negativity to grow. We suffer because we resist the very nature of life. Buddhism encourages us to embrace impermanence, to see it as a truth that frees us from the prison of expectations. Consider a flower blooming in spring. Its beauty lies not only in its color and fragrance, but also in its temporary nature. We appreciate its bloom precisely because we know it won't last forever. Now, what if we could approach life and all its experiences with the same understanding? When we stop fighting impermanence and learn to let go, we create space for joy, peace, and even gratitude. Let's take a moment to reflect on a simple exercise. Think about something in your life you once feared losing, perhaps a place you loved, a friend who moved away, or even a job you left behind. At first, letting go might have felt hard or even painful, but with time, did you notice how new things came into your life? Maybe a new opportunity arose, or a different friendship blossomed. Embracing impermanence doesn't mean you don't care or feel sadness. It means you understand that life is like a river, always flowing, never still. This awareness allows you to live fully in each moment without clinging. Impermanence teaches us not to hold too tightly to our attachments. Attachments, when out of balance, create negative emotions: fear, anger, jealousy. Imagine holding a handful of sand. If you squeeze it tightly, the grains slip through your fingers. But if you hold it gently, you can enjoy the feeling of sand in your hand for as long as you wish. Life is like that sand. When we try to control every part of it, when we demand that things stay the same, we lose the very joy we're trying to protect. One way to practice embracing impermanence is through mindfulness. When we're fully present, we notice how each moment is fresh and new. Instead of getting lost in thoughts of the past or future, we learn to live in the now. Notice how your thoughts and emotions change throughout the day. One moment you may feel joy, the next, frustration. But none of these states are permanent. They come and go like clouds drifting across the sky. When we stop identifying with every feeling, we free ourselves from much of the negativity that weighs us down. Letting go of attachments doesn't mean we stop caring about people or things. On the contrary, when we embrace impermanence, we appreciate them more deeply. Knowing that each moment is fleeting helps us treasure it more. Think of the time you spend with loved ones. If you knew every interaction could be the last, would you not cherish it more? This is the gift of impermanence. It opens our hearts, softens our minds, and helps us to let go of bitterness, grudges, and negativity. When we accept that everything is in flux, we become more resilient. We are no longer thrown off balance by the twists and turns of life. In Buddhism, there is a saying, "This too shall pass." It's a reminder that both our joys and our sorrows are temporary. When we're happy, it reminds us to savor the moment. When we're sad, it reminds us that the pain won't last forever. In this way, impermanence teaches us balance. You may wonder, how can I start to live with this understanding? Begin with small steps. Start observing the little things around you. Notice the leaves on a tree as they change colors and fall, the way the weather shifts, the way your own mood changes from day to day. Reflect on how many changes you've experienced in your own life. Remember, every ending has led to a new beginning. When we recognize this truth deeply, our hearts become lighter. We start to let go of regrets and fears about the future. One of the beautiful teachings of Buddhism is that by embracing impermanence, we can find true freedom. Instead of being shackled by the need for things to stay the same, we learn to flow with life, to adapt, and to grow. Imagine how freeing it feels to let go of needing control over every detail of life. When we embrace change, we open ourselves to new experiences, new learning, and deeper wisdom. So, the next time you feel negativity creeping in, whether through fear, anger, or frustration, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, am I holding on too tightly? Remember that life is like a river, always moving. By letting go, you're not losing control. You're choosing to live in harmony with the nature of existence. You are choosing peace over tension, joy over resentment, freedom over attachment. And as we bring this part to a close, consider this. Embracing impermanence isn't just a practice, it's a way of life. It's about finding peace in the understanding that nothing lasts forever, yet everything matters because of its impermanence. In every fleeting moment, there's beauty, there's a lesson, there's life unfolding. So, breathe deeply, embrace change, and watch how your mind begins to release negativity, allowing joy and serenity to flow in. In the end, To accept impermanence is to embrace the fullness of life itself. The practice of loving kindness, metta, in our journey to remove negativity from our minds, one of the most powerful practices we can embrace is loving kindness, or metta. Metta is a Pali word that means unconditional love and goodwill. It's about wishing happiness and well-being for ourselves and others. This practice is central in Buddhism and offers a gentle yet profound way to cultivate a positive mindset and transform our relationships. To begin with, let's explore why loving kindness is so important. When we harbor negative thoughts and feelings, we often end up feeling isolated and disconnected from others. This can lead to a cycle of negativity where we become trapped in our own minds. Loving kindness breaks this cycle. It helps us expand our hearts and minds, allowing us to see the beauty in ourselves and the people around us. Imagine starting your day by practicing loving kindness. Find a quiet place, sit comfortably, and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths, letting your body relax. Now, think of someone you care about deeply. Visualize them in your mind and silently repeat phrases like, "May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, may you live with ease." As you do this, notice how it feels. Your heart may warm, and a sense of connection can wash over you. After a few minutes, extend these wishes to yourself. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live with ease. Often, we are our own worst critics. Practicing loving kindness towards ourselves can create a foundation of self-acceptance and compassion. When we learn to treat ourselves with kindness, we become more capable of extending that kindness to others. Now, let's take it a step further. Once you've established this practice with someone you love, and then with yourself, gradually expand your circle. Think of a friend, a colleague, or even someone you find challenging to deal with. Repeat the loving kindness phrases for them. This might feel a bit awkward at first, especially if you are not used to wishing goodwill towards someone who irritates you. However, this is where the real transformation begins. When we extend loving kindness to those we struggle with, we start to soften our hearts and reduce negativity. A beautiful aspect of loving kindness is that it's not limited to people. You can practice it towards animals, nature, and even towards situations or places that cause you distress. Imagine sending loving kindness to your community, the world, or even to the environment. Picture the earth and say, "May the earth be happy. May the earth be healthy. May the earth be safe. May the earth live with ease." This helps to nurture a sense of connection and responsibility, allowing us to see ourselves as part of a larger whole. One of the key teachings of Buddhism is that love and compassion are not finite resources. The more we give, the more we receive. Engaging in loving kindness can create a ripple effect, not just in our own lives, but in the lives of those around us. When you practice loving kindness regularly, you might notice that your attitude towards others begins to change. You may find it easier to forgive, to empathize, and to connect. Loving kindness is not just a practice, it's a way of life. Integrating this mindset into our daily routines can help us face challenges with a more open heart. For example, when encountering difficult situations, instead of reacting with frustration or anger, we can pause and think, what would it look like to respond with loving kindness? This simple shift can transform our interactions and help us navigate the ups and downs of life with grace. As we continue to cultivate loving kindness, it's important to remember that it takes time and practice. Like any skill, it requires patience and dedication. You may not feel immediate results, and that's perfectly okay. The key is consistency. Try to set aside a few minutes each day for your loving kindness practice. Over time, you'll notice that your mindset starts to shift. You'll find that negativity holds less power over you, and you'll be more inclined to see the goodness in others and yourself. In conclusion, the practice of loving kindness offers us a profound way to remove negativity from our minds and hearts. By wishing happiness and well-being for ourselves and others, we nurture a spirit of compassion that can transform our lives. As we cultivate this practice, we open ourselves to deeper connections and greater joy. So, take a moment today to engage in loving kindness and watch as the negativity that once weighed you down begins to fade away. Self-reflection and the path to inner clarity. In our fast-paced lives, we often forget to pause and reflect on our thoughts and emotions. Self-reflection is a powerful practice that allows us to gain insight into our inner world. It helps us understand the sources of our negativity and offers a path toward clarity and peace. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of self-awareness, guiding us to look within and confront our feelings honestly. Imagine you are standing at a calm lake, watching the water's surface. When the water is still, you can see your reflection clearly. But when it's disturbed, your image becomes blurry. Our minds work in much the same way. When we allow external pressures and negative thoughts to disturb our peace, we lose sight of who we are and what truly matters. Self-reflection helps us calm the waters of our mind, enabling us to see ourselves more clearly. To begin the process of self-reflection, find a quiet space where you can sit comfortably. Take a few deep breaths, allowing your body to relax. As you settle into this moment, start to observe your thoughts without judgment. What emotions arise? What situations trigger feelings of negativity? Simply acknowledge them. This is not about eliminating these thoughts immediately, but rather understanding them. Consider keeping a journal as part of your self-reflection practice. Writing down your thoughts and feelings can provide clarity. It's like shining a light on the shadows of your mind. When you write, you give yourself the space to express what's inside. Over time, you may notice patterns or recurring themes in your thoughts. Perhaps certain situations or people consistently bring negativity into your life. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward addressing them. Another powerful practice is meditation, which is often used in Buddhism for self-reflection. Find a comfortable position, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. As you breathe in and out, allow thoughts to come and go without holding on to them. This practice teaches you to observe your thoughts rather than be consumed by them. Gradually, you will develop a sense of detachment from negative emotions, making it easier to respond to them with kindness and understanding. Self-reflection also involves being honest with ourselves about our actions and choices. Ask yourself, am I living in alignment with my values? What do I truly want in life? This self-inquiry can sometimes lead to difficult realizations, but it is essential for growth. Buddhism encourages us to face our truths, even when they are uncomfortable. By doing so, we cultivate resilience and inner strength. As you engage in self-reflection, be compassionate toward yourself. It's easy to fall into self-criticism, especially when we confront our flaws. Instead of judging yourself harshly, practice self-kindness. Treat yourself as you would a dear friend who is struggling. Remember that everyone has challenges, and it's part of being human. Embracing your imperfections allows you to move forward with greater grace. The insights gained from self-reflection can transform how we interact with the world. When we understand our triggers and patterns, we can respond rather than react. Instead of allowing negativity to take control, we can choose to approach situations with calmness and clarity. This shift not only benefits us, but also positively influences those around us. In Buddhism, the concept of mindfulness is closely tied to self-reflection. Being mindful means being present in the moment, fully aware of our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings. By cultivating mindfulness, we can become more attuned to our inner experiences. This heightened awareness helps us catch negative thoughts before they spiral out of control. We can pause, breathe, and choose a different response. Consider incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine. Whether you are eating, walking, or even washing dishes, practice being fully present. Notice the sensations, sounds, and smells around you. This simple practice can ground you and reduce feelings of overwhelm. When we anchor ourselves in the present, we create a buffer against negativity. Self-reflection and mindfulness work hand in hand. Together, they create a powerful toolkit for navigating life's challenges. As we continue to practice self-reflection, we become more adept at recognizing negative patterns and choosing healthier responses. We learn to embrace the ebb and flow of our emotions without being swept away by them. In conclusion, self-reflection is a vital part of removing negativity from our minds. It invites us to explore our inner landscapes with curiosity and compassion. By taking the time to understand ourselves, we gain clarity and strength. Remember, this journey is not about perfection but progress. Each step towards self-awareness brings us closer to a more peaceful and joyful existence. Embrace the practice of self-reflection and mindfulness. Allow these tools to guide you toward inner clarity and a brighter, more positive mindset. With each reflection, you're not just clearing away negativity. You're cultivating a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. The role of meditation in cleansing the mind. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools we have to cleanse our minds and remove negativity. In Buddhism, meditation is not just a practice, it is a way of life. It helps us connect with our inner selves and brings us closer to a state of calm and clarity. But how does meditation actually work to clear our minds? To begin with, meditation allows us to step back from our thoughts. In our daily lives, we are often caught in a whirlwind of distractions, work pressures, family obligations, social media notifications. It can feel like our minds are racing a million miles a minute. When we sit down to meditate, we create a safe space to pause and observe our thoughts without judgment. It's like standing on the shore, watching the waves